With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
The last time we covered boys soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel, it was at this facility, a famous 1-0 victory for the Marlington Dukes as they punched their ticket into the regional tournament, taking down the Louisville Leopards. Today they are back in action, and they have a tall task at hand, take down the Streetsboro Rockets. It's Streetsboro and Marlington up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field! Say goodnight to that baseball!
This is another one! It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas! He's the point, and it's alive! Hansen pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! It's blocked! We're tied! We're tied! Unbelievable!
It's a rainy night for soccer here in Alliance, Ohio, at the home of the Marlington Dukes. It is the Marlington Soccer Stadium. This is OHSAA Boys Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Tonight, it's a good one. 2-0 Marlington, 3-1 Streetsboro Rockets. He's Cooper Fontaine. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Cooper, we saw a great game last night, a good competitive outing by the Alliance Aviators girls team. Tonight, we see Marlington once again. The boys right now looking really good. 2-0 on the year with 2 quality victories, especially the one over Berlin Highland earlier on this week.
Yeah, both 3-1 victories. They seemed very strong in both of those games. 3-1, it's not a close margin, but it's not also that far.
And I feel like half of that game was, okay, we look at the context, what was actually happening on the pitch, and that is what gave us that close game. But looking at tonight, Marlington 2-0, Streetsboro 3-1. This is a great bounce-back year for the Rockets, 7-11 last year. With a win tonight, over halfway to their win tally from a year ago. just a tremendous rebound for a great program.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing very well. They're 2-0 in their conference. They've got some quality wins here. A 15-0 win against Coventry, really just showing off their strength in scoring.
And speaking of scoring, they do have a lot of key goal scorers. Their main contributor, it is Logan Sadowski, wearing number 14, 5 goals, 5 assists, and only one of those goals came from a penalty kick. So a total of 9 contributions this year from open play. A lot of the top goal scorers in the OHSAA, they kind of make a living in the penalty box, taking some penalties, but not Sadowski.
Yeah, no, I mean, 5 goals, 5 assists, and only 1 penalty kick. That is some legit scoring right there.
And he will need to do that again tonight. One thing to note with Streetsboro, while they do play at a turf facility for their home games, a lot of their conference opponents are grass facilities. Marlington, a non-conference opponent, it is grass, so they are not necessarily in uncharted territory, and that is going to be big for them tonight, especially given that it has been raining for the past couple of hours. We were down on the field a little bit ago. Cooper, unless I'm mistaken, that pitch is in, I would say, pristine condition.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little damp. Other than that, I mean, this is great condition to play soccer, no doubt.
And up above, they are beginning our pregame introductions. We will toss it upstairs for those. We will also have the national anthem, and then it is game time. Settle in, ladies and gentlemen. The Dukes and the Rockets up next on SmeeSports.
Met the requirements set by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and have been assigned based on the process approved by the Ohio Athletic Association Board of Directors. The officials for this game are Donald Williamson, Brandy Ham, and Adrian Batchelor. Now let's meet the coaches and players for tonight's game for Streetsboro. The coaches are Jason Gaspare, Anthony Savaca. Players, junior Gio Francis. Freshman Tyler Sessler. Freshman Jao Nascimento. Freshman Asael Castellon. Freshman Evan Gasparare. Freshman Mohammed Sheikh. And now your starters. Sophomore Zakiah Cook. Senior Chris Daniels. Junior Ty Zipprich. Senior Gabriel Nascimento. Senior Ethan Laye. Freshman Graham Jonas. Junior Nick Castrilla. Junior Logan Sadowski. Freshman Nathan Schoner. Freshman Colin Scalle. Freshman Preston Wisniewski. And now for your home team. For your Marlington Dukes. The coaches are Clayton Calgill, Alex McDaniel, Quentin Motice, and Mackenzie Laurie. And the players, junior Tony Stanella, senior Zach Pitts, freshman Colin Riley, freshman Zach Frederick, junior Armani Stanilla, sophomore Deacon Cowden, freshman Tyler Klossner, senior Bowen Coleman, senior Braxton Gill, junior Marcus Ramos, and for your starters, junior Brock Swisher, junior Tylen Siders, junior Riley Shannon, junior Caleb Schumacher, senior Max Nichols, junior Tommy Miller, junior Aiden Tate, junior Turner Hoffman, senior Andy Hartzler, Senior, TJ Guess. Sophomore, Logan Smith. And I forgot to mention junior, Andy Frederick. To honor America, please stand and join in playing of the national anthem.
It is officially game time in Alliance, Ohio. Once again, this is OHSAA Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. He's Cooper Fontaine. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Looking at introductions, Marlington, they are a team that is fired up and is excited to play in front of their home fans tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can see even on a little bit of a rainy day, maybe not the greatest weather, they still have quite a bit of fans out here to support the team.
One of the big things that we found out before this game started, Andrew Frederick, the junior, out tonight due to injury. He was slated to start, but in the end, he was taken out. It is going to be the junior, or rather senior, TJ Guess in the starting lineup in his place. He so far this year has 1 assist. So we'll have to see what happens with this game, see how integral Frederick was going to be in this game. But with a guy like TJ Guess, he can step up and be a plug-and-play kind of guy. But you look at this Marlington organization, they are very well coached from top to bottom. They have the resources needed to win a game like this, even without one of their key contributors.
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, Andrew Frederick being injured is not great for the team. And we saw he went down just before the game even started. But I think TJ Guess, he'll be able to step up and he'll be able to fill that gap.
One of the more quiet atmospheres in all of OHSAA athletics. We saw that somewhat last night until we started seeing the fouls come in, of course, but this time on the far side away from the fans. Beautiful night for soccer if you are a fall sports fan. If you're a fan of the beach and the sun, maybe not your forte this evening. 40 minutes on the clock, and we are off to the races in Alliance. Streetsboro wearing their road white jerseys tonight. Marlington in their home oranges. Last year we saw Marlington, especially in the month of October, wear their purple home jerseys, and those were nice. Beautiful ball played in early, and it is a quick clearance by the Rockets. I don't think that ball was intended to find anybody, but almost slipping right through, and that would have been a great early chance for Marlington.
Yeah, getting on the board early, as we've seen a lot in these recent soccer games, is definitely the way to go.
And that was Nichols, the intended target of that pass. Marlington keeping possession just outside the 18-yard box. Good chance to whip one in. But before the cross, he went out of play, and it'll be a goal kick. But good attacking opportunities early on for Marlington. Once again, that early ball in, and then that good cross just a moment too late.
Yeah, and as you may have been able to see, that clear boundary line is not painted on very clearly.
And with the rain, that is only going to make it deteriorate quicker. Good long goal kick by Krasminski, the freshman. So far this year, he has scored 1 goal, and it was on a penalty kick. He is 1 for 1 on penalty kick saves. That is a good stat for him to have. And then on top of that, a total of 50 saves and 1 clean sheet through 4 contests. So a lot of shots against him. The Rockets looking dangerous outside their 18-yard box, and for the first time tonight, seeing the ball get slowed down due to the wet grass. The Rockets still trying to put numbers forward And it is a simple clearance, clearing the danger for the Dukes, and the counter might be on. Once again, it is intended for Nichols. Unable to get there in time as Krasminski plays more as a sweeper on that possession. And Marlington will simply concede the throw. But given that he does have that one penalty kick scored, I think we will see Krasminski working not only inside his 18-yard box, but also well outside of it. High skied touch. And the Rockets will box out to get possession. Kind of a pile-up between the Dukes and the Rockets. Marlington takes it back, and they will change fields. So far, the game being controlled in the midfield. Each team getting close to their respective 18-yard boxes, but no crazy challenges or opportunities quite yet. And with it being a wet pitch, I kind of think we're going to see a sloppier game tonight. It's not going to be perfect regardless, but that could be a factor, especially if the rain does come back and haunts us.
Yeah, the rain definitely makes it harder to control the ball, whether you're a goalkeeper or whether you're trying to keep it on your feet.
Just around 3 minutes in, nothing crazy quite yet. Nice punt by Krasminski, one of the longest balls that we have seen all season so far. And the Dukes respond with a nice one of their own. 2 forward for the Dukes. And they will take it back on a wayward touch. Marlington trying to get in. It is Shannon on the far side of the 18-yard box. Good touch in, but too far, and Streetsboro will clear their lines. And as you said, the end line not really clearly etched on. You see it there on the far side. Tough to tell when it truly goes out of play. On that occasion, it was clearly dubbed a throw. But nothing crazy yet in this game, and once again with the fans, more of a quiet atmosphere in comparison to last night. And last night was in large part aided due to the presence of a lot of interesting calls.
Yeah, I mean, calls like what we saw yesterday, you know, whether it's something that was called or wasn't, definitely gets the fans on their feet, gets them a little loud.
And a big thing that we are not hearing tonight is too much talking on the pitch. That is big for communication. You have to be able to communicate with your teammates well. And now it's starting to pick up a little bit here for the Rockets. Laya taking it up the center of the park. A captain for a reason. 4 goals and 1 assist so far this year. But he is 0 for 1 from the penalty spot. Interestingly enough, Streetsboro has had 3 pens this year. 2 for 3 so far. We will see if they get one tonight, but just given the conditions, I think this is going to be one of the lower scoring affairs for both teams this campaign.
Yeah, and certainly for Streetsboro. I mean, they did have that 15-0 game against Coventry, and that just goes to show that, you know, it really is a double-edged sword where you can score 15 goals in a game, but you can also potentially have a 0-0 tie.
And we saw that last night, the battle of wills between Alliance and Canfield. Alliance, a lot of higher scoring games. Canfield, not so much. Heavy touch gives it back to the Dukes. It's Nichols on the near wing. Good ball played forward. A promising attack ending quickly as then is Schoener clearing his lines for a throw. But that's the right call there. Not many white jerseys back. You give them a chance to regroup. And speaking of regrouping, the Dukes do so nicely. Guess the last minute starter plays it in, and it is going to be easily cleared away by Laya. 5 minutes in, no score. Nichols plays it back out to the wing. Miller now back deep. Shoemaker tries to change field, picks up Shannon. Shannon gets it forward, takes a shot from range, and it is going to miss wide right. First shot of the game from either team, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, close shot there to start it off, and that's actually pretty promising considering the bit wet conditions that we have here.
And usually I am somebody who is going to say, okay, early on you don't take those long shots, but I don't hate it. Test the goalkeeper, see what he's made of early, because if you can score the long shots, that does make things a lot easier. Good goal, good ball played to the far side, but too rich, as it'll be simply cleared away for a throw-in. And I think Streetsboro is going to be one of those teams that when there is some pressure and they don't have the numbers they want back, they're not afraid to take it out of play and surrender a throw. Now the concern would come if they start to concede corners in that same mindset. The Rockets looking promising early on in this game. Same with the Dukes. The Dukes just doing a little bit more offensively. Good ball towards the 18-yard box. Good touch off to the right side. The shot going well across the face of goal and out of play, as it'll be a goal kick. For a moment, it did look like it was going to stay in play, with that shot coming from TJ Guess. So 2 shots in the last couple of minutes for the Marlington Dukes. And we will see if they continue to get more aggressive or stay content with the way things are. Sadowski tries to touch on, can't win it. Marlington able to win it back. Now 7 minutes in, Marlington 2 shots, Streetsboro nothing really in their final third. Beautiful ball played up the wing by Miller, but nobody on the receiving end. And Scalia is going to see it to safety. But not quite. They're going to say it's still in. And now finally there is the whistle.
Bit late on the whistle there, but yeah, I did look like it was out of play from up here.
Good ball played forward, but taken back by the Dukes. Another promising attack brewing. Good dish off to the left side. Ball squared down low. It is a chance for Guest to get in, but he will be denied. And for the first time tonight, it is going to be a corner conceded by the Streetsboro Rockets.
And this is just what you were talking about, is they'll give up those throw-ins, but do they want to give up a corner?
And we saw it on Monday night, a lot of set-piece goals between the Panthers and the Dukes, albeit different teams playing, but still the set-piece opportunity, one of the more daunting tasks to defend. Ball played in near post, header on, loose ball just inside the 6-yard box, and Krasminski is able to pick it back up.
Great job by Krasminski, just staying active within that box and just keeping his eyes open for the ball.
And that is the danger of the set piece. The ball just beats everybody. It's a loose ball. And that time Krasminski able to stand in and be a brick wall. We saw that last night with Canfield's goalkeeper, as that was a tremendous performance by a freshman. This could be the same exact thing tonight. Heavy tackle, but Marlington takes it back. Nichols, light touchback, picks up Miller. Miller up the wing, beautiful 1-2 punch. Now Guess is on. Good ball played into the edge of the 6-yard box with a chance it's skied.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful setup there. Guess crossed it over, but just a bit over the goal there, and unfortunately, another opportunity that will not result in a goal for the Dukes.
That was nicely set up in the back line. We have seen it a fair amount so far in the contest. Tommy Miller booting the ball up the wing. It's typically Miller getting it from Nichols, and then they just send each other up the wing. Laya battling for possession, loose pinball. The Dukes have it, and they will battle to get into their final third. Good defense by Leda as he wins it back for the Rockets. Played up Daniels. Heavy touch going to the edge of the penalty area. And Streetsboro will clear their lines for the time being. Marlington, though, getting more aggressive. Hoffman forward. Heavy tip. It is out of play. And it'll be a throw-in for the Marlington Dukes.
Sub for Marlington, Bowen Coleman.
And we will see our first substitution of the game. Guest comes out. Coleman comes in. And once again, this is because Guest came in as a last-second starter for Frederick. But this is a key example of why you always have to stay ready no matter the occasion. You don't know when somebody 5 minutes before the game starts is going to go down.
Yeah, and despite the injury, I would say Marlington is still playing very well, despite these adverse conditions.
The more aggressive of the two teams so far. Good ball played in the Rockets, looking promising. But Harsler will clear his lines, and he will stand with it in the corner. And that is the best case scenario. Just boots it off the Rockets, and it'll be a goal kick for Brock Swisher. First time we are calling Brock's name tonight. One of the best goalkeepers in the EBC and the greater Stark County area.
Yeah, I mean, it's him and Cole Pasco, just those two duking it out, no pun intended, in the Alliance area.
Both definitely a rich history in the city via their families. And it's no surprise to see both of them doing great things for their respective schools. Heavy touch off of a Rocket and out of play. That was Zakiah Cooks trying to get through. 5 goal contributions for him so far this year. 4 goals, 1 assist. Not at all a bad campaign. Flicked on for Nichols. Beautiful ball forward, but miscommunication with Coleman. But Coleman still a chance to catch up to it as it will hang high. Coleman goes down as he will simply slip on the grass, and the Rockets will concede a throw.
That's one of the first examples we've seen this game of the slippery conditions, but overall it's not been seeming that bad.
It will definitely get worse as the game goes on. The field gets more worn in. It'll be a key factor to look at come the second half. Coleman tries to whip it in, but blocked out of play. And for the second time today, we will have a Marlington corner.
Corner kick, Marlington.
And if you're the Dukes looking at what happened last time on the far side, this is a great chance. If the ball gets loose again, you just need anybody in the orange to be on the end of it to poke it in. Played central in the box, the header, it will tip in, just like that. Subtle foreshadowing as the Marlington Dukes score on a set piece.
Marlington!
Nicely done by the Dukes. We talked about it earlier on. Corners are dangerous for that reason. They needed somebody on the end of it. Right there, exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you said it beautifully, although I couldn't quite tell who put that one in. It was a bit of a jumble.
Tough to tell on our end, but either way, the Marlington Dukes are on the board first. And we will see what Streetsboro tries to counter with. 27-23 remaining in the first half, but the Dukes with an early lead, their early aggression pays off. The Rockets trying to force their way in, just unable to get a good touch into their 18-yard box. Laya slips, and the whistle will blow, and it'll be a foul on the Dukes.
It looked like a bit more of a slip to me, but
I was going to say it looked kind of like that. It's tough to tell when there is somebody making a challenge in the vicinity, but they do opt on the side of caution. Ball trickles on out of play. Throw in for Streetsboro. Cook unable to trap the Dukes. Once again playing the long ball. Heavy touch forward. Coleman leads it on for Tate. Nascimento for the Rockets loses it. And here come the Dukes once again headed on forward. Nothing going, and it is a long ball. And Swisher, his first real big action outside of the goal kick, easily makes the play. And now he will probably have to do something here. A great chance for the Rockets. And on the ricochet, it is an easy save for Swisher.
and it's about the little things as a goalkeeper. You just don't want to let one of those slow rollers get past you.
That was Nascimento on the shot for Streetsboro. But I don't hate that chance. Good defense by the Marlington Dukes. They do have more experience in their back line in comparison to the Rockets. And that experience could prove to be important later on. Once again, it is the Grass Monster taking a victim, and the Dukes are on. Beautiful ball whipped into the 18-yard box. The defense able to sprint on back and concede the corner. The two defenders that we have called a lot so far today, Schoener and Scalia, they have been the key contributors on defense. They're freshmen. And it looks like in the end they will say it last touched an orange jersey. So it'll be a goal kick for the Rockets. Looked like he went for the header, but instead it hits off the back. Heavy challenge, but both got ball. Here come the Dukes. Beautiful ball whipped in. And there is a collision in the box. Obviously, just given the angle, no grounds for a penalty. But we'll see plays like that often, assuming the grass holds up the way it is right now. Excellent challenge on the far side. One of the best slide tackles that we have seen so far. But Streetsboro unable to keep hold of the ball. Hartzler plays it up. Shannon. Up the wing it goes. Scalia. Just over 15 minutes in. Marlington up 1-0 courtesy of a set-piece goal. And they look to double their advantage. Nichols takes it from range, whips it in. But too rich as Shannon can't catch up.
Yeah, and that was another good setup there off that right side, just trying to cross it and find someone in the middle.
TJ Guest.
And once again, it is TJ Guest subbing in for the Marlington Dukes. I would expect to see him a fair amount tonight. And on the opposite end, it is Riley Shannon subbing out. 24 minutes exactly left to go in this first half. Marlington, they have their goal, but Streetsboro still looking for their first solid shot. I believe they do have one, but it was a ricochet. Numbers getting forward, ball played in nicely to the edge of the 18-yard box. Nascimento dishes it in. Sadowski cutting through, but the Dukes able to hold up for the time being. And finally cleared up. Excellent resilience by the Marlington Dukes, just throwing a bunch of numbers deep. And now the counter could be on. Tate played forward, but once again a slip. Coleman can't keep his footing. And we will have a whistle go against Marlington once again. Second foul of the game on the Dukes. And it'll be a free kick for Streetsboro.
And just like you said earlier when Coleman went down, that's a high traffic area over there, and the grass has been getting torn up.
Coleman back on the ball, fighting with a defender, gets through. Marlington 3 numbers past Cohen. Ball played, and you can kind of tell based on that run, just a little bit too early, mistimed it. And it'll be an offside on the Dukes. Timing is everything, and you have to be on the same page with your teammates. A mistimed run, and you get that.
Yeah, and they were setting up for another one of those nice plays that they've been making this whole time.
Marlington, very reminiscent of the old Barcelona, just 1 or 2 touches, and then the ball is off to somebody else. A very tiki-taka-esque formation and just tactic for them tonight. Heavy kick, and it is going to bounce down below us. Out of play for a Streetsboro throw-in. But Marlington not taking their foot off of the gas. They have control possession, but also they have been the more aggressive team, which sometimes doesn't go hand in hand. Coleman fighting for an edge as he will get it, forcing a throw-in. But once again, Streetsboro only with that one shot. They will need to get a couple more going forward if they are to get back in this game. Coleman plays it in, a great chance for the Dukes, but denied. Excellent tackle in the penalty area. And for their troubles, they will get a throw-in. Daniel just smacked it right off of Coleman. We have seen ricochets like that a fair amount so far. Coleman to the top of the box, chested on by Nichols. Nobody on the end. Smith for Marlington. Central back to Nichols and up the wing. Coleman. 3 orange jerseys in the box. Nobody on the end of it. Nichols the closest. And it'll go out of play. This will be the 3rd corner of the game for the Marlington Dukes. Last time Marlington had a corner, they did score. So Streetsboro, I would assume, will put more numbers towards the front post. Instead, quick short corner. Long range chance for the Dukes. That could be a handball in the box. They will say no. The Dukes will stay with it. But Streetsboro able to clear their lines. That would be one that we would have to watch back after the fact. But based on where his hands were, tried getting it out of the way. But still, that was very close to being a handball.
Yeah, and I'm sure it gets a little muddy making calls as a referee with the slippery surfaces that they're playing on.
Just like that, just a player going down in the middle of the park due to the slippage. Marlington dancing with danger in their defensive area, but able to clear their lines once again. The counter almost on, but a good ricochet forward resets the offense. Smith. Nichols awaiting across in the box along with Coleman. And Streetsboro once again gets tied up, and it'll be a corner for the Dukes.
And this is like you mentioned at the beginning. We don't know just how many corners Streetsboro wants to give up because we've already seen Marlington score off of one of these. They may end up scoring off of another.
And if we were to have every single offensive stat after the first half, or at least at this point, Marlington, they would be dominating. Loose ball in the 18-yard box, and it is going to be hit behind. Good chance once again for the Dukes. The more aggressive of the two teams. But I think the big thing for them now is to get a goal from open play, not relying on a set piece. If they win the game 1-0 because of the set piece, they won't complain. But they want to show their prowess from open play. That's a big deal for them. And a chance potentially to show a good battle on the far side for possession. Guest spinning around. He will take it into the 18-yard box. Looks for a cross, but a bunch of white jerseys, nowhere else to go. And now we will see a substitution. It is going to be Shannon coming in for Coleman. Coleman has been getting active up and down the wing, and he will take a momentary breather. But we are officially over halfway through the opening half. Marlington 1, Streetsboro 0. That goal coming on a corner.
Nothing crazy so far. I mean, it's just been, I'm guessing, a little tough, you know, due to the slippage as we see a player goes down there.
And that shot just going across the face of goal and out of play for a goal kick. Heavy challenge from Streetsboro, but if you get the ball, you get the ball. And I'm sure the theatrics are aided by the wet surface. But not much of Brock Swisher so far tonight. And that's not a bad thing at all, as he has been playing a good game.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been doing what he needs to do. The ball hasn't came his way that much, so he's been just getting a little cardio in maybe.
Loose ball, and the Dukes are on a great breakaway chance. The shot, it is going to slip through for a Marlington goal. Maxwell Nichols gets it to go, and there is the brace the Dukes wanted.
Yeah, there we go, extending that lead up to 2-0 in the first quarter. I mean, this is definitely good for the Dukes. Getting the lead out a little early will help them carry through the second half.
And as you see on the replay, just misplayed by the defense. It looked at least at first that he took too long to shoot, but in the end able to hit it off of Krzymanski. But now Marlington up 2-0. They really do control this contest. Streetsboro, they need an answer.
Yeah, and that little hesitation to shoot might have just messed Krzymanski up a little. It wasn't a bad play by him. As you saw, it bounced off of him.
Swisher able to play it up the pitch. Once again, the ball almost getting through the defense. Dangerous times for the Streetsboro defense. Marlington looking for another. Iden Tate battling against Sadowski. No foul given. Marlington keeps it. Ball whipped central and cleared away by Schoener. Sent right back, and Krzymanski able to easily glove it. Marlington not backing away, as they do have a 2-goal lead in hand. The more aggressive, the better right now for them. But if you're Streetsboro, you just need one bounce to go your way, and that could get you back into the contest. Beautiful ball in, but just on the wrong side of guess. Shannon fighting for it. Heavy touch. Once again gets it back. Squared in front of Laya. Up the wing, Klossner. And he is able to keep it in play, but not quite. It looked like, at least from up here, he did. But on that last roll, the whistle blows, and it'll be a goal kick for the Rockets.
And that one was just a bit of a late whistle, you know, as to where, you know, we may have seen it. And again, that's just the difficulties of playing on grass in the rain.
But so far, Marlington dominating in every big category. Laya, heavy touch forward, trying to battle in the center of the pitch. But a common trend that we have seen tonight, wherever the ball is, 4 or 5 Marlington jerseys are right there as well. Another great chance. Shannon dribbling it in. Loose ball. Skies back. Smith. Schumacher. Tied up with Cook. Foot raise. Hartzler fighting for it. He will tumble. It goes out of play. And it will be a Streetsboro throw-in. Substitution in the meantime for the Rockets. It is going to be Nascimento coming in. And he will replace, well, the other Nascimento, Gabe, the senior. So it is the freshman Nascimento coming in for the senior Nascimento. So a changing of the guard kind of move, albeit we still have a long season ahead. And that is a key thing for both teams to look at, even if tonight does not go their way. A lot of time left to make up for it this year. Another good chance for the Dukes. Ball is loose across the face of goal. Marlington, favorable numbers in their 18-yard box. Played on back, Miller. Dishes it to the wing. It's Klossner. And he will be blocked, but a chance to whip it in again. Poked forward, intercepted, Cook the heavy touch, back to the wing. Tate possesses, hands it back, Miller. And now the ball finds its way back to the defense. The Dukes completely resetting. And here comes the offense again. Guess slips it on through, a great chance for the Dukes, but it'll be hit out of play for a corner.
And that was nearly another sweet setup. I mean, we've just been talking about it so much. These quick touches from Marlington are making it a little bit easier for them to get past the Streetsboro defense.
And the big thing with the Dukes, they're not afraid to hit the reset button and bring the ball all the way back to their defense. Their defenders very good on the ball, and that is a big thing for this game. They've been very clinical all the way around. They want another goal here to really solidify their advantage. Headed on forward by Shannon, but picked up by Krasminski. A very good chance, and once again, going with the header.
Yeah, I mean, another great setup. We've seen it from quite a few of their corner kicks that they've had. Is just they're able to get it inside, but the ball is just moving a little too fast for them to put it to the net.
If you're Streetsboro, you need to get numbers forward. You're playing with a more defensive mind. You got to start getting more aggressive and try to find something to get you back in it. And this could be that play. 2 Rockets in the box. But once again, nothing going. A heavy touch out of play. And it'll be a goal kick for Swisher and the Dukes. 12:55 left to go in the first half. I feel like the biggest takeaway is Marlington got aggressive early. Marlington took their lead, and Marlington has taken this game by the horns.
Yeah, I feel like we touched on it a little bit at the start. Getting out quick and getting to that early lead is definitely beneficial, especially for this Marlington Duke team.
And they control the game at home. That is the key thing. It is a tough place to play, but so far this year, 2-0, 3-1 win against Lake Central or Lake Christian Academy, and then you have Highland 2-1. So 2 very gutsy performances. And right now you go and play the Streetsboro team, a team once again on the up and up after a rough 2024 season. This is the start they needed. Nice possession win in the middle of the park by Smith, but overshoots his target. That was intended for Klossner. In the meantime, Marlington getting ready for a pair of substitutions. Stanilla along with Nichols. It might only be a 2-goal lead for Marlington, but it feels like a lot more than that. The way they have been dominating possession across the board has definitely helped out that notion. Far side, Jonas loses it. Shannon going for it, and it'll be cleared away for a throw-in.
I mean, like you mentioned earlier, these are 2 strong teams, but right now, I feel like everywhere the ball goes, you see so many more orange jerseys than you do white ones.
And the numbers are the same, but as you said, it really does not feel like it at all. And a lot of that is up to the tactics of the Marlington Dukes. You have the good tactical setup. You have everything running the way you want to. If you play to your formation and your tactic strengths, then you do get this appearance. And that is exactly what Marlington has done so far tonight. Stanilla plays it up the pitch, trying to pick up Guess, but intercepted. Nascimento out of play. And it'll be a Rockets throw-in. But a very telling halftime period to come. Foul call, as I kind of think it did hit off the hand, as it'll be a free kick for the Rockets. So far, 2 shots, only 1 technically on target, and that was due to the ricochet. Daniels plays it on forward and once again into a sea of Marlington Dukes. Laya picks it up in the center of the park. Good in-stride lead to Castrilla. Ball played in, a great chance for the Rockets, but just too far behind. Cook was in a great spot, but that touch just too heavy. And once again, there is the Grass Monster taking a victim. Stanilla having to go back, and Marlington will simply have to clear it away. The counter was on once more, but when you slip and you lose possession that way, it's a killer.
Yeah, I mean, this Grass Monster has just been eating people up, especially getting closer and closer to this halftime.
And that is going to be a key thing to look at. How do both teams manage this kind of condition, especially when the pitch gets sloppier? It's not going to get cleaner. We're not going to have a grounds crew come out here at halftime and freshly mow the grass or anything. It's going to be the same exact way they have to deal with it. Beautiful flick forward, but an excellent box out by Daniels. Still with the Dukes, but Daniels making this a more manageable defensive setup. Guess fighting through against Daniels. Plays it into the 18-yard box. It's Smith trying to get goal side, but he will be sent back, and Guess will pick it up. Guess trying to pace past Daniels, and now skill passed. Marlington, they need some help, and there it is. You heard it down below. One of the coaches yelling out, somebody needs to be an option. And when you're trapped in a corner like that, you have relatively nowhere to go. You need somebody available to at least get the ball to somebody further. They don't need to possess the ball for 5 or 6 touches. They just need one simple touch. That's it. Heavy chested ball forward into no man's land. Marlington picks it up again. The Dukes once again looking promising. Nichols goal side. He will take it. He is onside. Fakes the shot. Tries to bring it down lower. Picks up a teammate. But no shot in the end, and Streetsboro is able to clear it for the time being.
Another great opportunity there from Marlington. We've seen that so many times this game. Just those little passing equations where they keep moving it from person to person, getting it a little closer to the goal.
Shot from range, and it is going to be too high, and it is out of the stadium for a goal kick. Double change for the Dukes, single change for the Rockets. Nascimento coming in for Streetsboro. As for Marlington, it is Tate and Coleman coming in. As for the outgoing players, it is Smith and Guess for the Marlington Dukes.
And like we mentioned at the beginning, Guess coming in for an injured Andrew Frederick. Guess has been making some good plays. We've seen him handling the ball down on that right side of the field, and he's just been putting in work.
Speaking of work, Shannon trying to battle his way past the Rockets. And once again, Streetsboro will concede a throw-in. 7 minutes left to go in the opening 40. But this is a traditional fall night. This is exactly what you see when you think of fall, Halloween, and just everything around it.
Yeah, some people think of football as like the fall sport, but soccer is very popular as well.
And Streetsboro, one of their biggest breakaway opportunities of the match so far. They need something here. But once again, Marlington able to get back, and the counter will have to stop for the time being. Good challenge by Stanilla, unable to win it. Streetsboro just battling through the defense. Laya takes it from range, takes a couple of ricochets, and that is no match for Swisher.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Swisher just getting active for the first time in a few minutes over there, because Streetsboro has not been able to put up too many shots so far.
The touch is getting a lot better here. A great chance. Cook battling through. He will go to the ground. And there is a late whistle. A good set piece and a dangerous opportunity for the Streetsboro Rockets.
We'll have to see what their approach is here, whether they're going to go straight for the goal or just try to set something up, make it a little bit easier.
It is going to be Sadowski, 5 goals, 5 assists, 1 goal from a penalty. This could be range for him, but this also could be a simple cross. Sadowski plays it to the back corner. Nobody home as it is too long. How to play for a simple goal kick. But I don't hate that chance. You try and find somebody at the back door to squeak it in. That time around, just too rich.
And that was one of the best opportunities that Streetsboro's had this game, or even just this half, to put one in the goal, but ultimately just came up a little bit short.
Swisher lining up for the goal kick. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Marlington 2, Streetsboro 0 your score, and they can make it 3. Nichols in on goal. His chance, it is saved by Krasminski.
Good job by Krasminski, just using his eyes, just reading where the ball is going and falling on it for a nice save.
And Krasminski has the benefit of quote-unquote film on Nichols. The way that he has just taken his time today, you know that's going to happen. You have that extra second to prepare, and Krasminski able to learn on the fly. Nice ball whipped in, goes to the back corner. It is Shannon, and Shannon will overshoot. But once again, another great ball played in. The crossing game has been great by Marlington. Keep in mind, that is how they scored their first goal. But once again, when right in front of goal, just can't push it in. Up by 2, they still control this game. But a late first half goal for Streetsboro, and that would make things very interesting. And on the same kind of topic, but different end, if Marlington scores again, 3-0 at half, that would be a great spot for them to be in.
And then, you talk about up 3-0 at the half. How's the play style going to change for the Rockets? Are they going to have to be more aggressive or even a little more conservative and try to just score off of some misplays by the Dukes?
And once again, going off the theme of misplays, that is how one of the 2 goals went in for Marlington. Rockets getting forward. Nascimento able to stick with it. But once again, Marlington just a bit more resolve. But right back to the Rockets it goes. Possession going very quick between both teams. Nichols takes a heavy touch left and now back into the Marlington defensive half. Excellent footwork. But his footwork will end there as Streetsboro is able to step inside. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first half. No foul given. And here come the Rockets once again. It is Sadowski slipping through. But not much more room to work with as it is cleared away. Marlington, for one of the first times, being put against the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it just these past 5-10 minutes. Streetsboro has really been putting on the pressure, trying to get one into the net.
And with not much time left to play in this first half, it is paramount that they find a way back into this game.
Yeah, if they can get back into it, then it'll make it a bit easier coming out of the half. A pep talk from coach is a lot different 2-1 than 3-0.
And even 2-0 manageable. Laya takes it from range and misses wide right. And once again, I mentioned it earlier, after the first long shot of the game for Marlington, usually I'm one to say, okay, that's not the shot there. And I will say it here, you know what Brock Swisher brings to the table. You've seen him already tonight. That's a point where if you can work it down, even to the edge of the 18-yard box, that's more manageable. You have to find a way to beat one of the best goalkeepers in the area. You have to get crafty. Marlington, the break might be on, working with a quick throw, but Streetsboro able to poke it away for the time being. Nichols opens up, picks up Tate. It's Aiden Tate for the Marlington Dukes, dribbling it in, and his ball just not finding a Duke. And Streetsboro on a slight stumble will just have to clear it away towards the far sideline. 1:10 on the clock. Marlington looking for a last-second goal in this first half. But I will give credit to Streetsboro. They have been a lot more swarming as the game has progressed. Heavy shot. It is over the bar and well out of here.
Like you said, I think Streetsboro has just kind of been settling into their game plan against the Dukes. I mean, the Dukes got up a little bit early off that corner kick and then came in with another one. But I think now Streetsboro is really just locked into their mentality of how they're going to play this out.
And they don't have much time to work with in this first half. 35 seconds. Poked forward, Nascimento. The break has to be on for the Rockets. Laya plays it to the far wing, picking up Jonas, but just too far out in front of the freshman. 18 seconds. They have to get the ball in quick. And at this point, you might have to set up for a long shot. If you have that window, you take it. But as the Dukes get it, they will play it up the pitch. Maybe they have one last chance. Now it's playing the defensive game. Marlington, it looks to be too far out in front of them. They will just simply turn around, and they will take this one to halftime. A good showing by the Marlington Dukes in the first 40 minutes. One goal on a corner and one on a defensive error. The latter goal coming from number 7, Max Nichols. At the break, it is Marlington 2, Streetsboro 0. You are watching OHSAA Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. We will step aside, hear a word from our sponsor, and be back on in a few minutes to give a halftime recap.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Welcome back to the Marlington Soccer Stadium. Halftime in Alliance. Marlington up 2-0 on the Streetsboro Rockets. He's Cooper Fontaine. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Cooper, a very interesting affair so far. Early on in the game, Marlington got very aggressive and it ended up paying off with a set-piece goal via a corner. Then their second goal, kind of a stroke of good fortune as a ball that was misplayed by Streetsboro leaked into the 18-yard box. They found their way to it, and Nichols was able to put it away. 2-0 halftime advantage, but it feels like they should be up by a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've been controlling the ball basically the entire time. Streetsboro hasn't done a whole lot on the scoring or shooting front, but it's not that far of a game. I mean, 2-0 isn't a terrible deficit.
And looking at the pitch conditions, we have seen a lot of victims of the grass monster tonight. The rain, at least for now, has subsided. But how do these players make adjustments on the fly like that? I'm sure you with cross country, when it starts to rain, adjustments have to be made immediately. Otherwise, it's not going to end well.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it quite a few times. Like you said, players going down, or that shot that bounced off of Krasminski to go in for the Dukes. I mean, it may have been part by the rain, you know, the water getting on the gloves or the jerseys, and we've seen, you know, balls with poor placement, maybe water on the cleats, and it just makes it an adverse conditions. But that's how you know when a team is real, is when they can win in those adverse conditions.
And right now for Marlington, what is at stake outside of a win is their undefeated record, 2-0 entering play tonight. Streetsboro 3-1, but winners of their last 3 games, 7-11 last year. With a win tonight, they get back over, or not back over, but they get to over halfway to being better than they were last year. 4 wins, only 3 away then at that point, but right now 4 wins away from getting there. Right now it does look good for the Rockets, but a long season ahead. Keep in mind, this is only August. We still have another full month of regular season play, and then a few weeks into October before the OHSAA tournament starts. So realistically, we have a total of 6 weeks left to go until the OHSAA tournament becomes a question. Assuming you play 2 or 3 games a week, that puts you on pace for either 12 or 18 games, most likely somewhere in the middle of that. So a long season still to go.
Yeah, I mean, the Streetsboro Rockets, they're not playing a bad game here. They're playing a tough opponent in the Marlington Dukes, who went to the regional tournaments last year, taking down some tough opponents on the way. They took down Lake and they took down Alliance. So this is not at all a bad showing for the Rockets.
A lot of time on the clock in relation to soccer. Anything can happen. 40 minutes left to go. Halftime once again in Alliance. You are watching OHSAA Boys Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Welcome back to the Marlington Soccer Stadium. The second half of action about to get underway here in an overcast evening. A very good game so far played by the Marlington Dukes, up 2-0 on the Streetsboro Rockets. For those just tuning in, he's Cooper Fontaine. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. 40 minutes left to go. A lot of questions remain unanswered about the Streetsboro Rockets. Out of those questions, which is the most important to answer for them in the second half if they are to get back in it?
Definitely, it's if they can get an advance onto the goal, onto Brock Swisher. They've had a few shots in that first half. Nothing of great quality, I would say, for them. But, I mean, if they can just get a little bit closer and put something through, this game is flipped on its head.
And they will need to do something along those lines. We have seen so many games flip over the years. But right now the focus is on these next 40 minutes. As for Marlington, one of their key players, and Max Nichols, he is still going to be a key figure for them. He had the second goal of the game as he was played on by a bad ball against the Rockets. It is slippery outside, but as the lights come on, the pressure also comes with it. 40 minutes left to go in this OHSAA clash, and we are back underway here in Alliance, Ohio. It's an immediate long ball played through by the Marlington Dukes. Nichols sprinting for possession. He will box out Marlington, an immediate opportunity to strike. Ball whipped in, but it is Krasminski picking it up.
And we see that aggression right off the bat from Marlington. They are not holding back going into this second half. They want to keep piling on the points.
And Coach Cowgill knows how important this game is in front of the home fans. They want to control the entire 80 minutes. They saw last night Alliance starting to get back in that game, albeit it's kind of a different sport between boys and girls soccer. You see that. You don't want to let the opponent do what happened there last night. And this is a chance to make it 3-0, but just a weak pass inside. Guess used the outer sole and just couldn't pick up his target. Shannon wins it back for the Marlington Dukes. Now Tate. Once again, a promising attack brewing for Marlington. Excellent deflection. Daniels gets a piece. And that ball will go out of play, and it will be a corner.
And these corners have been so deadly for these Dukes so far. We saw them get their first points off of a corner setup.
And they will take it really quick. Deflects into the 18-yard box and cleared away. Streetsboro, they could get a counter going, but once again, they dedicate so many numbers to these set pieces. Not enough attacking-minded players getting forward after them quick enough. And that does leave a easy window for Marlington to occupy to get back to the ball and win it back.
Yeah, I mean, we see it from Marlington. Marlington always has a few jerseys around the ball. Streetsboro, not as much, a little bit more reserved in that regard.
But 2 minutes into the second half, and Marlington picking up where they left off. The aggression, it is still clearly there. This is the third time that they will enter the opposing final third. But once again, Streetsboro able to hold up, at least for the time being, as a nasty ricochet gives the ball right back to the Dukes. Siders gets a heavy hit, and it is out of play for a Marlington throw-in. But if you're Marlington, getting numbers towards the box is going to be key. And they will have a prime opportunity to do so as they will have another corner. That'll be the first corner on this side in this half, second overall. And at least earlier on in this game, the corners on the near side have done better than the far one. Ball whipped into a dangerous spot in the 6-yard box, and it will simply fly over.
Yeah, that was a great ball, a great setup there. And that was Smith on the corner kick. He put it right there for him, but they just couldn't finish it.
And Marlington will have another opportunity from the corner flag. We'll see where they want to play it. They will go on a shorter attempt. Tate takes it, and we will see a third attempt as that one is hit off of Elia. But I like the aggression there from Marlington once again. They change it up, and they take it quickly once again. Ball played into the back post. Header not there. Still a loose ball. The shot denied by Krasminski.
Yeah, Krasminski, we've seen this great from him so far. Just fast with the hands. He's keeping his eyes on the ball and making saves even on those fastballs inside.
Another cross. Krasminski gets a piece. He is off his line, and it is cleared away by Schoener. A tough couple of moments for the Streetsboro Rockets, but for now, the defense holds up, and they have to. We talked about it last night for Alliance. Keeping the game manageable was going to be the key. And when that third goal went in, the game was over. And same tonight. As long as Streetsboro has it 2-0 or better, they have a shot. Hartzler up the wing, good touch, but just too far out in front for Guess, and Streetsboro will take it back. But the Rockets now shying away from the fight. They have been a little bit more aggressive in the second half, but they need a lot more. Sadowski, nice ball forward. Streetsboro, they now need numbers. Good pace attempt by Castrilla. Out of play, he will take the throw in. Light to Sadowski. Central, Laya. The ratio between Dukes and Rockets pretty much even. And that is a good thing for Streetsboro. This is one of their more well put together attacks. They just need to find that final option. Good chance from long range. Swisher comes in and he makes the save.
Yeah, Sadowski, who's been the Streetsboro Rockets' big scorer this year, 5 goals, 5 assists, tries to make the play, but a great save by Swisher to keep that one out of the net.
And right away, Marlington back on the counter. It is 3-on-2. Light ball forward, poked away, and the Rockets can clear their lines, but Marlington not ready to call it quits on the attack as they will have a free kick. But going back to that shot, that was the first time tonight that Brock Swisher was really challenged. And he answered the call quite well.
As we've seen him do so many times. I mean, we've said it time and time again, even just on this broadcast. Brock Swisher, one of the best goalies in the area.
Him and Cole Pasco at this place in about a month is going to be must-watch TV. The header played wide, and either way, that could have been an offside play. It's tough, obviously, to see because you have to look back to when the ball was initially kicked, but just based on the positioning, even if it went in, it could have been denied. Streetsboro trying to use more foot skills than pace, but intercepted in the middle. Marlington back on the attack quickly. Santilla, or rather Smith, up the wing into the corner. Good touch by Guess. The senior looking for a couple of Dukes. Rolls in still with Guess. Finally tries to play it forward, but in the end, he will be dispossessed. And it is out of play off of the Dukes. But TJ Guess, an excellent solo run into the 6-yard box. Just waited too long before getting rid of it.
And we've seen that a few times from him this game. Just, you know, taking the ball by himself, using his foot skills, and making some good plays.
And speaking of foot skills, I mentioned it moments ago. Streetsboro relying on their foot skills more than anything. Sadowski gets tripped up. Loose ball once again. Castrilla picks it up. Laya. Nice poke over the top. Cook intended target. And Cook can't get there in time. The defense will work out from the back. Nicely done by Schumacher. But he gets tripped up. Cook wins it back for the Rockets. Laya plays it forward. Castrilla from long range, and it'll go wide.
And we've said this a few times, but the long shots might not be the way to go here. Just want to work it inside a little more. We know what Brock Swisher can do, and maybe the closer shots will work a bit better.
And we'll see what they end up trying to do as the game goes on. Until this game has seconds left, it is not going to be over at this rate. But Marlington, if they can get a third, that would put them with 1 foot in the win column again. Heavy tip, and it will be a corner. Heavy challenge, both sides getting it there at the same time. But Marlington, yet another great opportunity.
Yeah, both teams have been pretty aggressive to start off this second half. We're only about 10 minutes in, but we've seen already quite a few shots on goal.
Played near post, and it is going to be another corner. I don't hate the decision there to simply do it again. They're going to play it short. Immediately called out by the coaching staff. Cohen plays it top. Tate takes the shot, and it is over the bar.
And there's another shot from Marlington. Just so aggressive this second half. I mean, they were aggressive the first half, but I think they've really turned it up.
And the short corner has really revolutionized the way that they take these set pieces. Streetsboro, they weren't really expecting them because we didn't see them at all in the first half. You change that up. You're finally adjusting to the old style. Now they bring out a new one. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, they saw that Streetsboro was getting adjusted to their play style, and they switched it up, and that is an amazing idea to run with.
Coach Calgill, one of the best coaches in the area as well, one of the better tacticians especially. And we see these Dukes make changes all the time on the fly. Big credit to him, and as well, big credit to the guys making it happen on the pitch. Good chance for Marlington. They will take the shot from long range, and it is going to be wide for a goal kick. But I don't hate it. We've seen Krasminski bobble a couple of balls. Why not force him to have to make a play?
Yeah, I mean, just more aggression. Just push it a little more for these Dukes, and I feel like that is a way that they'll end up finding the net.
Officially a half hour left to go in this contest. Heavy challenge, but a clean one. And yet again, this is a great example of seeing this aggression on the slippery pitch. And just like that, Marlington will win it back. But it looks like this game will be done just a little bit past 8:30. So one of the more on-time games that we have seen so far in soccer this week. Looking ahead to next week, we will have 2 volleyball games, Tuesday, Thursday. Marlington Minerva Tuesday, Alliance Minerva on Thursday. Loose ball outside the 18-yard box. Heavy challenge, whistle blows, and Streetsboro will take it back. As for our Friday night lights coverage, it is going to be our first at Minerva as the Lions take on Akron Springfield at 7 p.m. But first things first, tomorrow, Holy Name Gilmore, 6 p.m. pregame, 6:30 senior night, 7 p.m. kickoff at Serpentini Chevrolet Stadium. Should be a fun end of the week as we prepare for a lighter load on the channel next time out. Good touch on forward, intended for Shannon. Shannon trying to win it. But a good box out by Streetsboro prevents him from getting there immediately, but he still gets it at some point. Marlington getting very aggressive with Streetsboro. This is the most attacking-minded they have looked so far tonight. And a heavy triple on the far side. Both sides could have easily been flagged for a foul. But that is just kind of what happens here when you have these conditions. Cook tried getting it played onto his strong foot, but instead it goes behind. And that's the kind of communication you have to have. If he's calling for the ball on his strong side, you have to find it there. Cohen looks to be in. Almost a handball, and it will be. It looked like it for sure, but no whistle initially, and then they do get it right in the end.
Yeah, Coleman had a great opportunity there to get in for another Duke goal, make it 3-0, but the handball just took it away.
In the meantime, a substitution is brewing for the Dukes. It is going to be TJ Guess coming back in. Coleman squares it. A great chance for Marlington. It is Shannon turning towards the center of the box, plays his way in, takes the shot. Krasminski pushes it off to his right, and he will make the save.
Krasminski's been there time and time again, making good saves. I mean, we've seen it. Just he's quick to get to that ball.
And he has to be. He has really done a nice job working off of that last mistake that allowed the second goal to go in. And he has really put together a good performance tonight. 27 minutes left to go in this one. Streetsboro still down 2-0. Lyle trying to battle his way through the defense, just can't find an opening. Excellent throw and leads his man in stride. It is once again Sadowski. But the promising attack sent right back on a great tackle. Whether it be heavy touches or great tackles, Marlington has found a way to get out of so many dangerous spots on behalf of the Rockets. And both teams just looking for a way to control possession. In the last couple of minutes, we have seen a lot of just 1 or 2 touch plays, and all of a sudden the ball is back with the opposing team.
Yeah, it's just been back and forth across the midfield. Good opportunity here for the Dukes.
Good ball played in, and it is a goal. It looked like a cross, but it finds the back of the net, and that is the 3rd goal of the night for the Marlington Dukes.
That was a great shot there. That looked to be Nichols again with his 2nd goal of the game.
We will watch it back on the replay. That was a thing of beauty. Krasminski, I don't think, was prepared or expected it. Just played in right over his head. And they're going to give it to TJ Guess, which I don't think is possible because, well, he is just subbing in now. So I think you're right. I think it is going to be Nichols with the brace.
That was an absolutely incredible goal for the Dukes.
Now up by 3. They do firmly control this game. And now the goal might simply be play for the clean sheet.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, an undefeated record is always a great thing to have. It's a confidence booster, and it's very intimidating to your opponents.
But Swisher in each game has allowed 1 goal. Great performances, but he wants that all-elusive clean sheet. To go out there and not allow anything, that would be big for him. Excellent foot skills. Marlington now changing fields, but too long of a ball. But somehow kept in. The hustle of Marlington has been tremendous tonight. But there, once again, is a heavy touch, putting it out of play.
Yeah, that was a great play by Hartzler to just keep the ball in bounds. Unfortunately, it did amount in a throw-in for the Rockets.
And only 1 shot in the second half for Streetsboro as well. They have been finding opportunities to score hard to come by.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very aggressive. We saw both teams just really crank it up, but unfortunately, they haven't amounted to too much yet. We'll see how their game plan changes going into these last 25 minutes.
And I feel like the main thing is going to be getting more numbers forward. You have to have guys in the box that can make an impact. You have the scorers, you have the goals this year. In one game against Coventry, you, I believe, if I do my math correctly, tripled the output of Marlington this season. And here is their chance. Sadowski fighting through the Dukes defense. Might be in on goal, but poked away at the last second. He will go down, draws the contact, and it is a foul on Sadowski.
Yeah, just getting physical inside there. And this is something that we haven't seen too much this game, is that physical soccer. I think it's just been a little bit too wet for that.
And I feel like that play was drawing contact to try and win that penalty. Just given the scenario, you're not going to get it there, especially when you initiate like that. And it'll be a simple play for Swisher just to boot it up the pitch. But I would say outside of that 1 shot, that is the best looking attack that we have seen all night by Streetsboro. But right away, Marlington back on the prowl, looking to make it 4. Tate cucks back, takes the shot. And it is saved by Krasminski.
Yeah, Krasminski's not letting that last goal get to his head. He's just staying in the right mindset and making the easy play.
Coleman plays it on forward. Beautiful ball by Nichols, but nobody home. Laya plays it up the far side. Good square forward, but once again on the wrong side of Cook. That has been a common denominator. Cook getting open, but just serviced on the wrong side. Ziprich tipped forward in favor of Nichols, getting on it. Nice ball played and a great chance for the Dukes. One-on-one, it is Smith, and Smith hits it in. A no-doubter for Logan Smith, his 3rd goal of the season. And Marlington now leads by 4.
And this is just Marlington not stepping off the gas pedal, trying to stay aggressive and try to increase the lead even more here, and really trying to put this game away with only about 23 minutes left on the clock.
But as you said, just trying to get their foot on the gas. You feel like the game is won, but you never truly know. You want to pile on the goals. And if the offense can continue to play like this, why not? But yet again, who's the catalyst? Nichols. He has been that guy all night, whether it be him scoring the goal or not. We gave player of the game out on Monday to a winger who was a catalyst. That could be the same exact thing we do tonight, so make sure you stay with us. After our final commercial break, then we will announce our player of the game. A lot of great candidates on both teams early, but Marlington, the team that looks to be running away with it, they will have their representative. Nice slide tackle to keep the ball in play, and Krasminski will easily pick it up. Nice job by Ziprich, though, kind of creating that barrier. 22:10 on the clock, and this one. And outside of it being kind of dark now and kind of dreary, a beautiful night for soccer, just like last night, just with a little less sun.
Yeah, I mean, once the rain stopped and the weather really cleared up, I mean, it's looking pretty nice out. This is great soccer weather.
True fall sports weather, a long chance, and it is going to go wide. Sadowski trying to get creative, but just too far away.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down 4, you really just want to get as aggressive as possible and just try to get some numbers on the board here.
And if Streetsboro can get at least 1, that is a good thing to bring into their next game. As for Marlington, things don't get easier. In fact, they get 10 times more difficult as on Saturday. They host Revere. Revere is one of the best teams, if not the best team in the state. They are truly a different level. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff here, and that is going to be an exciting game.
And we've seen Marlington playing well today, but we will just have to see how they fare against them. And that's going to be the tale that will tell of how good the Dukes are this year.
Last game of the month, and you bring your undefeated record into it. A lot on the line, albeit in just a 180-minute segment. Your whole month can be deemed a win or a loss in just one game. It's weird to say that, especially if they do lose that game going 3-1 in the month, but that's the one they really need to get. And if they get it, Marlington might have their sights set further than the regional semis where they bowed out last year to Lake Catholic. They lost key players, yes, but the guys that came back, they buy in and day out to this system, and they have really done a great job with it. And you look at their depth, they have a full JV team, a lot of key contributors that come in and play maybe 20 minutes. To have this kind of depth, that really does set them up nicely. And one of their biggest games still yet to come this year as well, the backyard brawl against Alliance here. We will be on hand for that game. Marlington, I don't think, has lost since 2013 to the Alliance Aviators.
Yeah, it has been quite some time. They definitely got the best of them in the playoffs. I think Alliance may have won it during the regular season last year.
They had the opening goal courtesy of Ryder Bandy, but then Marlington ran away with it from there. Throwing going to the edge of the 18-yard box. Shannon, heavy touch back. Coleman chips it in, but right into a sea of white jerseys. Laya. Out wide, Castrilla. Less than 20 minutes to go in regulation. And for those unfamiliar with how OHSAA soccer works, yes, this game could, in theory, end in a tie. We only play 80 minutes. Laya played on, numbers getting forward for the Rockets. But Streetsboro taking their time. Daniels. Plays it forward, Laya, a light touch, but right to the Marlington defense. Laya getting led on, just can't get it there. Sadowski. Loose ball once again, going back to Marlington. 3 jerseys in front, just a heavy touch. Able to win it, he goes down. And there will be no foul called as both got to the ball at the same time. Tate, though, shaken up. And it looks like Nichols is getting ready to come back in. And I would assume this is going to be for Iden Tate, even if that wasn't the initial decision.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen, Nichols has been absolutely on fire with 2 goals today. He's been looking actually amazing as a captain of this Duke team.
And as a senior, you expect him to step up, and he really has. Not a name that I really think we called last year all too much. But this year, he has become a key contributor.
Which is especially important with the absence of Andrew Frederick.
Breakaway chance here for Marlington. Excellent save, but the ball still in the 18-yard box. Poked through and poked wide. Almost the 5th there, but a great save by Krasminski.
For Marlington, Max.
And now it is going to be Max Nichols coming on. And as expected, it is in place of Iden Tate. Nichols so far entering tonight, 1 goal, 1 assist. Now up to 3 goals. And through as well 3 games, so averaging a goal per game. Great win on the far side. Marlington, 1 in the box. A chance here. Shannon puts it in. It is Mambo number 5 for the Marlington Dukes. Their 3rd goal of this second half.
I mean, like we said at the start, the Dukes are definitely turning it up. With only 17 minutes left, they have already scored 3 goals this half, one from Nichols and one just right there that they just had. And this is looking like it might be being put away by the Dukes.
And as well, just to keep in mind, it's quite simple. Score one more goal, and then it's done. You have the running clock, and you go from there. But 5-0. This is not what we expected from this game. But Marlington, they came out, they had a mission, and they have executed based on their great game plan. Light touch, Marlington almost getting another great chance. And capitalizing on mistakes has really been the calling card of Marlington tonight. Is it the most glamorous way to win? Maybe not, but it gets the job done. A win is a win no matter how you get it. But this is going to be one of the best performances of the Dukes this season. A great cross, but just hangs too far behind the goal.
I nearly thought that was in for a second, but it wasn't.
But if you are Revere looking at this game, regardless of what you have done in the past, you have to look at Marlington as a real and present threat. It's tough, especially given their great track record. But Marlington really putting on a show tonight. And given the rain, just given everything surrounded this game, they needed a win like this. And they are going to get it. Beautiful ball played in, just too far and too high, intended for Klossner. But the Dukes still not done with this attack quite yet. Accidental ball played in by the Rockets. That shot going well too high and out of play.
Yeah, Nichols there taking another shot, looking for.
And the ball boy scored.
Wow, how about that? I mean, that's got to be worth something.
Ball played in, just he didn't think that it was coming in that quick. But still obviously won't count. But that's kind of what we look for, the little things in a game like this, whether it be fan interactions, the ball being sent against something. You look for those little nuggets that make the game special. These players, they might not remember how many goals they scored in a given game or the final score, but if something happens, then they might say, oh, yeah, I do remember that game.
Yeah, we saw it last game with the ball getting sent either into that goal off the side of the Rock Hill field or into the trash can in the player's bench.
I feel like that's the moment that you remember from that game, not the score, but remember that game where we hit the ball in the trash can? And that is the simple thing you look for. But Streetsboro, with 15 minutes to go, their goal right now has to be keeping Marlington off the board. Already 3 this half. The Dukes offense kind of playing the same exact way, maybe just a little bit more luck involved. And if that's the case, that's the case. It happens sometimes where luck is a key factor. 1 or 2 bounces going your way. And we saw that last night with Alliance. Luck just wasn't on their side.
Yeah, they came so close, but at the end of the day, they just couldn't execute. And unfortunately, that may have done with, like you said, a lot of luck.
Marlington getting numbers forward once again. Beautiful ball played forward. It is Shannon trying to body his way forward. Plays it on back. It is Klossner. To the far side, a long shot played in, but more of a light dribble as Nichols didn't get all of the ball on the shot. Just kind of stubbed against the ground. And now we can kind of start to feel it is getting chillier outside. So we will see if the coolness of this now fall air plays a role. Light touch forward. Marlington trying to pick pockets. Shannon can't get there. And you feel this whether you think we're in the middle of fall. Technically, this is still kind of summer as we haven't hit Labor Day.
Yeah, I mean, the month of August, I generally think of it as a warm one. Not quite as cold as it is now.
But walking outside today, you just feel this mid-60s weather, and you just have to feel better things are coming. Obviously, do you want to be in the classroom or do you want to be at home having fun? You have your answer there, but when the weather starts getting colder, you just start to see these Friday Night Lights memories, these high school memories, all of that. You start to see that flooding in, and it is really a great time of year. Despite obviously the added stresses and pressures of having tests and quizzes every so often.
Yeah, but knowing you have the football or soccer throughout the week always makes it better.
Corner played in, going to the back post, and just not a heavy touch. Rolls out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Rockets. Gagan Cowden, the sophomore, about to come on for Marlington. And we will see how many total changes Coach Cowgill makes. I think if Brock had a clean sheet, he could be coming out, but I think you let him finish to get that. Shannon, ball poked away from him. Out of play it goes, and it'll be a Marlington throw-in, but the substitution prevents the quick throw.
For Marlington, Deegan Cowden.
It is Cowden coming on, and he will replace Tommy Miller. Miller, a key contributor early on in the game. Throw-in goes into the 18-yard box and sent right back out. Hartzler. Played on forward, Miller. And Swisher, playing in a sweeper-keeper role, will get the ball on his feet for one of the first times tonight. We've seen a lot of back passes from the Marlington Dukes, but mainly to their defenders, not to Swisher. But maybe a slight mentality change as 11.5 minutes remain. And this is really where you can perfect your craft heading into that game against Revere. Even if you do practice tomorrow, there's not really all too much that you can change heading into that game. You have one day off to rest. Tomorrow, a big part of it's recovery. Ball played forward, Swisher coming off of his line. He will clear it away. A good move, just knowing the scenario well. Good battle by Miller, and the Dukes once again look to be on the prowl. Played up the wing and played in. A great chance going to the back door. Headed into the middle of the 18-yard box. And finally cleared away. But Marlington once again stepping up. They will take it back. Hartzler shifting in. He will almost tumble. And it will be a free kick. We saw a great opportunity in that first half in a similar spot, if not the same exact spot. With 10 minutes left, do you take the shot or do you set something up?
Yeah, that is the question. It just depends on how Marlington wants to play this. If they want to be more aggressive, really just want to assert their dominance, they'll probably try to put it straight into the goal.
Ball played to the back post, and once again, just a bit too long. I would say pretty much the same exact spot and the same exact results.
Yeah, last time just put it a bit over, and it went over that back corner of the goal.
70 minutes down, 10 more to go. Once again, this game will be re-airing on Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance within the next couple of weeks. Thank you to our two students from the Video Production Career Tech program for joining us tonight to run our equipment. And as well, thank you to Cooper for calling the game with me. And as well, thank you to my roommate from last year, Julian Rodriguez, for running our scoreboard this second half. Ball played into a dangerous spot, and it will bounce just wide to our left, to the right of Krasminski, and out of play for a goal kick. But a full house tonight at Marlington. Total of 5 of us in the box. We had 5 last night. Good thing to see that we actually are getting more and more people, and especially more and more of these students involved. Once we have basketball season, Cooper, I know you've already talked about being excited for basketball. Looking forward to trying out some different camera angles and some different cool things, especially at Harry Fales Gymnasium, as that is the bigger of the 2 facilities that we usually go to.
Yeah, I'm always excited for basketball season. It's definitely my favorite sport, and I love watching Alliance basketball. They play a great brand of basketball. Watching J.R. Jackson play is always incredible.
Ball played in, but the flag will go up, and it'll be a goal kick. But going to basketball, our first scheduled broadcast, at least as of right now, it's not going to still be our first schedule because we will have at least 1 or 2 games in November. But Alliance at Northwest on December 2nd, and then the big one, Warrensville and Spire on December 4th.
That is a big game. And touching back on Alliance versus Northwest, they had a great game last year. Came down to the wire. Ultimately, J.R. Jackson sealed it with a clutch bucket at the end. That is just the brand of basketball that I feel like we all love to watch.
And Marlington fans, don't be worried or concerned that we won't be seeing you. We will see you a good amount, but once again, as I do live in Strongsville, there will be a good month of the season that we are not in the area, but we'll try to get maybe a game or 2 in before the year turns and then a few afterwards as well. But stay tuned for that when the time comes. As for football, we are changing our Friday game in a few weeks. We will see Marlington football once this year, and that is against Minerva. Over to the side, there is a new goalkeeper warming up for the Marlington Dukes. The question is, do they make the change? It's a tough call. You want to give Swisher his clean sheet. But either way, I think he pretty much would get it. But 7.5 to go. Streetsboro still trying to find their way up the pitch. But we go back to that midfield battle. Marlington dominating it in these last couple minutes. It's a good recipe for success. And the big thing for Marlington, it hasn't been one specific way that they have won. It has been a number of ways. They have done a lot right tonight. A complete game, top to bottom on the roster. That is exactly what the doctor ordered heading into the big tie on Saturday against the boys from Richfield.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it a bit earlier with they're changing their tactics. They're switching it up a little bit, trying to just confuse the Rockets, and it's worked very well. We saw, similar to what we saw in the first few minutes of the first half and the second half, where they're just playing very aggressive and just trying to get the ball into the back of the net.
Foul called on the Marlington Dukes. That is the one category that they will want to clean up heading into Saturday. A lot of fouls and some unnecessary fouls. And we do have our answer. We will see a goalkeeping change as it is going to be Stanilla getting ready. Ball tipped. Swisher makes the save. And that might be the last time that he touches the ball tonight. And if it is, a great performance from Brock Swisher all the way around. Beautiful ball forward, aided by the Rockets. It's a one-on-one chance. 4-6. It is put in. Nicely done by Tyler Klossner. And that is the freshman's first career goal as a Duke.
Great job by the freshman, just getting a bit in front, making the one-on-one play against Krasminski. Sixth goal there. That's the running clock for the game. Not that it's going to change too much, as there's only about 5 minutes left.
But that was the goal on Brock Swisher down below. He comes out of the game. He gets his clean sheet, assuming that things do hold up the way they are right now. A well-deserved clean sheet as well for Mr. Swisher. A great confidence booster heading into the big game on Saturday. We've talked about it a lot, but that is truly just how big of a game it is. Laya and company trying to make the clock stop again, but their attack denied. And the Dukes are in potentially for a seventh. Once again, it is on to Klossner, and he is denied. Out of play it goes, and Marlington will have a throw-in.
Even with 5 minutes left, they're still pushing it on, trying to get it upfield, and trying to put a seventh one in the back of the net.
And a chance to do so. Nicely played in. Heavy tackle. No whistle. It is out of play for a corner most likely. But based on the way that they are setting up, it looks to be a goal kick. And now we do start to see some unfamiliar faces as there is a number 23 on the pitch. And unfortunately, both rosters, cross-referencing both, does not include a number 23. So most likely one of the JV guys getting in tonight to get an opportunity to see if he can get some more game time as the year progresses. Heavy shoulder nudge by Hoffman, but Streetsboro will take it. Once again, stay with us after this game is over as we will announce our player of the game, but that will come after our final commercial break. Ball played on just too far out in front and headed for Gill. And Streetsboro will clear it away for the time being. Out wide, Klossner. Played central, just going through a Duke, but still right to Marlington. Back heel by Stantilla, not getting anywhere. But as it has happened so many times, the ball goes awry, but somehow it finds its way back to a Duke. And speaking of it, here is a great chance for 7, but denied by the Rockets. Braxton Gill in on goal. He is looking for his first goal contribution of the year. But it will be a goal kick once again for Streetsboro.
And it's quiet out here. I mean, you talked about it at the beginning that it's not a very loud environment. We're far away from the fans, but even as it's 6-0, it's still just a quiet and dark night here.
A lot of key takeaways for both teams heading into their next fixtures. So we will see how the next couple of days play out for these squads. Streetsboro, they do end their season against Alliance, so they'll have a chance against the other side of this glorious city. And for those unfamiliar with the city of Alliance, nicknamed the Carnation City. And obviously coming with it is a parade adequately named after the Carnation. But 2.5 minutes left to go in this one. Klossner, good cut inside, good motion. Here come the Dukes. Played forward, intended for Gill. He won't get it, but it bounces back once again to another orange jersey. Intercepted, Pitts. Dishes wide to the right. Played down low, but once again, Krasminski able to pick it up. And I will say, Streetsboro has a very young defensive line. A lot of their defenders, they're freshmen. Their goalkeeper, a freshman. You can't judge how they are tonight based on this game to then compare it to the rest of their career. In a couple of years, you play this game out again, we could be talking about a Streetsboro team that is one of the best again in the state, with that core growing together throughout their entire time in high school.
Yeah, I mean, Krasminski, like you said, he's a freshman, but he still had a great performance today. Do not let the 6 goals against him fool you.
And now the Dukes will continue to make some changes. It is going to be a double change. Conlon Riley coming in along with Zach Frederick.
Gio Francis.
So this is going to be more of getting guys that usually aren't involved onto the pitch for the final minute 15. But I do like that move. The win is insured. You are going to improve to 3-0 on the year. It's a great start to the campaign, but a lot of work has to be put in from here if they want to make it back to the regional tournament. You go back to how they did in districts. I mean, or rather, I think they lost in the district finals, not in regionals, but you look at the way they played, 4-0 against Alliance, 1-0 against Louisville. They were great in that tournament. They need a performance like that 1-0 against Louisville to beat some of these great teams on their schedule, and they'll have some great opportunities as the year goes on. Gill, light tap forward, Klossner going for a brace. Cuts back right, looking for help, and he will just simply play it on back to Pitts. Less than 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Streetsboro looking for one final attacking opportunity. High ball played by Laya, but nobody home. And it will roll to the new goalkeeper of the Dukes. That is Danilo the junior.
10, 9.
Here comes the 10-second countdown. A very sweet one for the Marlington Dukes. For the first time this year, Marlington will have a clean sheet, and they will improve to 3-0 on the year. Your final for the Marlington Soccer Complex, the Dukes 6, Streetsboro 0. We will step aside one final time and hear a word from our sponsors and be back on to announce our player of the game. You are watching OHSAA Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Welcome back to the Marlington Soccer Complex. 6-0 your final. The Marlington Dukes take down the Streetsboro Rockets. Your player of the game tonight, it has to go to Max Nichols. 2 goals, now has 3 on the year. He was the catalyst tonight for Marlington in a big, big victory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that second goal that he had was absolutely incredible. Just straight to the back of the net. It was quick. It was snappy. It was a great goal. And he was great with his passes. Ultimately, a great game for him. Definitely player of the game here today.
And you see the Marlington Dukes going to their faithful fans on the far side, braving the cold and braving the rain. They are enjoying this victory. You had to look at some other key players tonight. You look at a guy like Brock Swisher. He held his first clean sheet of the year. Speaking of first, Tyler Klossner, a freshman. He scored his first career goal tonight for the Marlington Dukes. First of many, hopefully, for him. But an overall great performance from top to bottom. Once again, you bring up that Revere game, which is up next. You have to be ready to take on the best. and tonight was a great tune-up performance.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it just in and out, like throughout the first half and the second half. Marlington was putting together these great passing sequences. All their passes were on point. No glaring mistakes or anything super intense for them. I think they might be ready for the challenge.
And Revere is definitely going to bring it to the Dukes on Saturday night. You have Ohio State and Texas early on, but that might be the biggest game, at least in this area, if you are a fan of the Marlington Dukes. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram at SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, as well as subscribe down below to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Our goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So if you're new, go down below and subscribe. There is no added cost, but it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports, as we are the official streaming partner of Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Tomorrow night, we are back with some OHSAA football. The 1-0 Holy Name Green Wave take on the 0-1 Gilmore Academy Lancers. 6 p.m. it is a SmeeSports pregame show. 6:30 it is senior night for the Holy Name Green Wave. And then at 7 p.m. it is kickoff live at Serpentini Chevrolet Stadium. Flipping on to next week on Tuesday, we will be across the street at Marlington High School. It is the Dukes volleyball team taking on the Minerva Lions at 6 p.m. Then on Thursday, we are on the opposite side of town. It is going to be the Alliance Aviators playing host to the Minerva Lions. 6 p.m. first serve over at Harry Fales Gymnasium. Then next Friday, rounding out our week of coverage, it is going to be Friday Night Lights over at Minerva High School as the Lions take on the Akron Springfield Spartans. Should be a fun week all the way around. A lot lighter next week, going from 5 games down to 3. But after that, we will have a lot more games. We're going to try to get around 4 or 5 games per week on the channel. But with Mount Union games thrown in, volleyball starting to get into full swing. I have 3 games for them this weekend, plus 1 next week. We have to find balance, and we have to be able to serve both Mount Union and as well our local teams such as Alliance, Marlington, and Minerva. Good rotation all the way around, and a big part of how we do as many broadcasts as we do, it is our sponsors. So if you want to become a broadcast sponsor, the information on how you can contact us is on your screen. Make sure you do so quickly, as this is a time to join on with us. A lot of great things planned over the next couple of months. A lot of great games upcoming. You want your business to be associated with those great games. Now is the time to sign on. But that will do it from Marlington's soccer complex. It is the Dukes winning this one by a final score of 6-0. For Cooper Fontaine, I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Alliance, Ohio, and we will see you tomorrow up in the Cleveland area as the Holy Name Green Wave take on the Gilmore Academy Lancers. This has been OHSAA Boys Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you again next time.